Let's talk grab bags. So no one actually wants to abandon ship, and it's not a scenario that we really ever want to think about having to do. But we need to be prepared. So if we're going to sea, sort of prepare for the worst. And having a grab bag is an essential part of that, because you've got all of your gear there in one spot that you can grab quickly if you've got to abandon ship. Hence why we have abandoned ship bags, panic bags, grab bags, grab-a-spagus, whatever you want to call them. It's a really important kit that has everything. So we've just put ours together, and I wanted to show you what gear goes in it, because it's pretty comprehensive and it can be a bit overwhelming when you start to think about how much gear you actually do need. But at the same time, don't be put off. Watch the video. You'll have some of it already, and some you might need to get, but it's one of those things that once you've done it, you can sort of relax a little bit knowing that you are prepared. And if you've got a grab bag already, then this is a really good time to review it and make sure everything's up to date and working. And you might pick up some things today that you don't have, something that might just save your life. The actual grab bag itself, we've used a 50-litre grab bag and named that. Separate dry bag, we've got our PLB, a handheld GPS, and a little solar bank for our phones and anything else that needs charging. And one of the most important parts in our kit is our handheld VHF, so we keep this with us with a spare battery at all times. Keep spare batteries pretty secure and waterproof. Compass and a heliograph or signalling mirror. All for tunes, probably more annoying than the recorder. Store our flares in a big container, a variety of flares and a couple of light sticks too. Check all your flares are with an expiry. Gloves are an extra you can throw in. I've put some in so that holding our flares they don't get super hot. An extra, but it's an essential one. An electric strobe light. Party light. Matches and lighters, all sealed and contained. Starting a fire is helpful. Now actually keep our food in a separate dry bag so that it's easy to grab out and check regularly, and then it keeps it waterproof. I've got enough food for a couple of people, 2 or 3 people, for about a week. Eating small rations. Just to give you an idea, there's a lot of fish, protein bars, some sugar, and yeah, more muesli bars and cans in there. And don't forget your can opener. More important than food to keep you alive is water. So we've got 10 litres here that we can easily grab. These are stored right next to the grab bag, so I can grab them easily. We have a medical kit. Medical kit has medicines, seasickness tablets, sanitizer, tissues, and some pawpaw cream, because no one likes chapped lips when they're floating around the middle of the ocean. Emergency blankets, TP in a bag, self-explanatory. Don't get sanitary products, although if you've got your period at sea in a rescue emergency situation, that's pretty bad luck. Thrown in hats because it gets hot at sea in the fierce sun. You don't need to look hot at sea. Don't forget your sunscreen. Thrown in a dive slate as well, because you can write in the rain or underwater. Really helpful. Keep some line and some cable ties. Many useful things for all of those 3 things. Use your creative brain, people. Hand line and tackle for catching the big one. We've included a dive knife too, because you can strap it on, and it's got a couple of blade edges. Bait board, so you don't cut your life raft when you're chopping your fish. Puncture repair kit's handy for keeping your life raft or dinghy afloat. Sponge. I've thrown in a collapsible bucket too. It's slimline and it's got a nice long line that I can attach it to the life raft or the dinghy with. So yeah, there's a lot of different uses for a bucket on a small life raft in the middle of the ocean. And then in a separate little grab bag, I would keep our sort of essential documents, passports, wallet, cash, any sentimental jewellery, my laptop, which sort of has my life on it, and phones and that sort of thing. And this would be just on the nav desk that we put things in before each trip, rather than keeping it in the big bag permanently. Each emergency situation is different. Ideally you want to be able to grab things within sort of 30 seconds, which is why having the main grab bag together with your flares and your water is super important. Life jackets should be worn. Wet weather gear, if you've got time to grab that, put that on too. Protect yourself from the elements. So this gives you a really good idea of what to include in a survival coastal kit. In terms of weight, I can lift that one-handed fairly easily, so it's not too heavy. There's a lot of gear, but if you take your time, work through it systematically, you'll be able to put together a really good grab bag. I've made a checklist which I will link below for you so that you can print that off and then start working through your own one and get that together too. There's a couple of extra things that you might consider taking if you're going offshore. Those are on the website. Other than that, this is all of this essential communication gear and survival gear that you would need. So make a start, let me know how you go, and all the best. Hopefully we'll never use it, right?